Hi, and welcome to Rob's Little Long Range. I've got a great comparison out here today. I've brought this Savage Mark II Classic, and I'm going to compare it against the Voodoo. 300 yards, playing a game of long Gong. I'll play a game with each gun. We'll run the numbers over the Garmin, so we'll be able to see exactly how they compare against each other, running the exact same ammunition. Lupua Center X. First thing I've got to do, though, is I've got to get both these guns dialed in with the Center X. So we'll start there, and then I'm just going to move right into shooting a full game. I'm going to try to shoot a full game with each gun, and we'll see what the numbers say. Thanks for joining me. Okay. I've taken a minute and I've fired both guns, and I have to say, first impressions is there's a big difference between these two firearms. I'm going to start by shooting a game with the Savage because, well, I don't want to disappoint myself, and I have a feeling that might happen here comparing these two guns. The Savage is a little bit stiff on the load. It seemed to run the Lupua Center X pretty well. I didn't really seem to have any problems with it. They mentioned my bags here from the Freedom Shack, my long Gong bag. This is the Sandcastle, works perfectly. The Savage seemed to throw the rounds all over the place. So I'm going to try to focus on the 8-inch and just try to put some points on the board, and we'll see what happens here. I'm going to shoot the whole 50 rounds with the Savage, and then I'll switch out over to the Voodoo. Just want to point out that both of these are running the exact same optic, a Tango 6 from Sig Sauer. Same Lupua Center X out of the same brick, and when it's all said and done, we'll compare all the numbers. Let's get it started, because it is much colder out here than I was expecting, and these wind gusts of 20 miles an hour plus are really not making it all that much fun. I'm sure you'll hear a little bit of wind in the background, and occasionally my shovel hanging up there will clink against the tree. That's a pretty good wind flag right there, pretty good wind indicator. Anyway, let's get this over with. Well, round one, 3 big points. Whoa. All right. Keep on going. All right, round 2 is pretty pathetic. 1 point. Let's see if we can improve on that. Miss. Well, at least it wasn't a goose egg. Round 3, 1 point. Yes. Hit. Nice, 2 in a row. Oh my goodness, we're on a roll now. Just staying right there on that 8-inch. Yeah. Found the sweet spot. Yeah! Holy moly. Oh! Lost my mojo. All right, last round for last shot for round 4. No, sir. 5 points in round 4. I just doubled my score. All right, I'm at 10 points. I broke double digits. Yay! All right, I got 1 round left. Let's see what I can do. Boy, this is tough. This is tough. This definitely throws the bullets around a little bit. Lapua Centerex is good ammo, and I'm seeing a minimum right now of 922.9 and a max of 1017. That's damn near 100 feet per second difference. It's picked up all 40 shots so far, so that's really nice. We will really definitely get some good numbers out of this. We'll be able to see where the highs and the lows are, and even if the low is the score, we'll still have something to show for what we've done here. All right. That is the end of box number 1. And let's see what we can do here. Here comes that breeze again. Come on, baby. Nope. Round 5, 3 more points. Gives me a grand total of 13. Oof. Maybe it's conditions. No. It's the gun. We're gonna move on to a Voodoo now. And conditions really haven't changed much, so I expect similar but better numbers. Let's do it. Okay, we're back. I got the Voodoo set up. I'm hoping for a little bit better numbers than what I just was able to get with the Savage Mark II, but hey, we'll see. Conditions are kind of rough out here today. The wind gusts are pretty hard, and 300 yards on a still day is pretty challenging, and the wind just adds a bit to the challenge. So I'm loaded up, same ammo, and let's see what happens. All right, 5th and final round. I've already beaten the Savage with the Voodoo, but let's see if we can put a few more points on the board. It really, both scores are pretty pathetic. So conditions out here are just not really conducive to accurate shooting at 300 yards with the 22. I will be the first to admit that. The numbers look a lot better with the Voodoo than they did with the Savage, but still terrible conditions to shoot. The wind is just pushing things around horribly. Impact. 6-inch. Miss. Impact. 6-inch. Miss. Impact. 6-inch. Ooh, impact. Let's go for that 4-inch. Why the heck not? It's the first chance we've had. Yeah! Woo! Oh my goodness. So excited. 96 rounds downrange, not including warm-ups. That's the first shot I've connected with the 4-inch. All right, I got 3 more shots. Let's see what I can do. did not connect on that one. Miss. Back to the 6-inch. Miss. Last shot. And a miss. All right, that was an okay finish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 points in the last round. That's my high round. 8 points. Ooh. Let's see here. 10, 26 points. So I doubled my score that I shot with the Savage. I'll get all the data written down when I get home. It's cold out here. I'm gonna put stuff away and go home now. More later. Okay, we're back. First of all, Savage Mark II Classic. It's a really pretty gun. It does not hold up against the Voodoo. The numbers don't lie. So, first of all, my scores were horrendous. The temperature, the wind, the wind mostly, I think, was driving things out there. The bullets were being pushed around quite a bit with gusts up to 25 miles an hour. The Savage, average feet per second. This is running all the Pua Center X, all out of the same brick, same ammo, same optics. The average speed out of the Savage was 983 feet per second versus 1,048 feet per second out of the Voodoo. You know, I would have thought slightly longer barrel, maybe a little bit more speed. So there's a fairly significant difference, 50 feet per 50, almost 60 feet per second difference in average speed between the two guns, and they're both bolt guns. So you wouldn't have thought to see that much difference. My score with the Savage, 50 rounds, I shot a 13. Whew, ay, bad. But the Voodoo, I shot a 26. So that just shows you that, you know, and I'll be honest, I mean, I average in the 50s or 60s. If I'm shooting really good, you know, really good day, I'm in the 70s or 80s, maybe even up into the 90s. But a 13 and a 26 is pretty rough for me. It was 20 degrees out there, 11 mile an hour constant breeze, 25 mile an hour gusts, 48% humidity. There was just no comparison. There was just no comparison. The Voodoo is definitely a much more precise shooter than the Savage Mark II. Just the way it goes. But it's a really pretty gun, and I certainly don't mind having it in my collection. And I'll take the Tango 6 off and put the Tango 6 onto the next gun that we will have a comparison with. And I'm interested in your thoughts and why, as to why there's such a big difference in the feet per second coming out, muzzle velocity, same ammo out of these two different guns. Quick rundown on the numbers. Average 983 feet per second, minimum 922, maximum 1017. My extreme spread with the Savage, 94.9 feet per second, which is enormous, and an SD standard deviation of 18.2. Come over here to the Voodoo. My average speed was 1048.7, minimum was 1030.7, max was 1063.6. Extreme spread of 32.9. So 94.9, 32.9. Standard deviation with the Voodoo was 7.9. This is all the exact same ammunition. It's amazing how vastly different these two guns prove to be out there under the exact same conditions. So I'm very entertained by this comparison that I've been doing out there, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. I've got a pile of 22s. I could continue to compare 22 versus 22 using the same ammo and under the same conditions, and we can see what the results are each time. I'll take a picture and post this data in the videos so you can look at it yourself. Anyway, thanks for joining me.